Hey! Yo, hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Green Lantern Rebirth. Take a look at the cover. I like this picture of Hal Jordan. It's probably my favorite picture of all time of him, so I think the art is very nice. Maybe that's just me, but I think it's beautiful. Now, Rebirth is the epic tale of how Hal Jordan returns to the role of Green Lantern. And despite the fact that he's the main character in this is more or less a book about all the Green Lanterns. So it doesn't focus mainly on Hal. Each Lantern gets their own individual time and spotlight. Now, before I actually get into the story, I might as well tell you why Hal Jordan is not the Green Lantern at this point. See, Hal became the Green Lantern, and he became probably the greatest Green Lantern of all time. But the space entity known as Parallax, the incarnation of fear, possessed Hal Jordan's body. It wasn't more or less he was possessing his body, but influencing Hal Jordan to do evil stuff and make him go crazy. Hal destroyed all the Green Lantern Corps, or at least most of it. He then tried to destroy the universe and remake in his image, but was eventually stopped. And then he sacrificed himself to redeem himself in saving the world. And at that point, he then became the Spectre, the vengeance of God. And he's the Spectre up until this point. Now, the graphic novel starts off with Parallax returning. And eventually, Parallax gets to the point that he possesses the last guardian of the Green Lanterns. At least I believe he's the last guardian at this point. And he possesses his body, and the Justice League go to deal with it. At the same time, Sinestro is back on the Justice League Watchtower, and he is just messing around with everyone up there. I believe it's Kyle Rayner and Green Arrow up there dealing with him. And if you don't know who Sinestro is like the arch enemy of Hal Jordan. He was formerly a Green Lantern, probably a better Green Lantern than Hal was on paper. And then he got evil, and he got the yellow power ring, the anti-Green Lantern ring, and he's just basically a very evil version of the Green Lantern. He eventually makes the Sinestro Corps. But to show you how badass Sinestro is the quote from the book itself, to quote Green Arrow, and I quote, this is Green Arrow, saying, Guy Gardner talked about how he could beat up every single one of Hal's enemies 10 times better than Hal could, but he never opens his mouth about Sinestro. And Guy Gardner not opening his mouth about someone is pretty big, because Guy Gardner is a loudmouth and cocky, arrogant person. But Sinestro is really dangerous. So Sinestro is just messing around with everyone on the Watchtower. And before he is fully possessed by Parallax, the Guardian used his power to bring back Hal Jordan's body and to put his spirit into his body, essentially bringing him back to life with the Green Lantern power ring. Why he didn't do this before, I don't know. Maybe it was because Hal Jordan was connected to the Spectre, but whatever. And Hal and Sinestro get into a really nice fight. That's in the Watchtower, and then it's in space, and then it's everywhere. Really great fight. Finally, the Justice League is not doing well against Parallax, and they're pretty much failing. Hal Jordan gets the last of the Green Lanterns around, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, and I think Kilowog too joins in, and they all have a big fight with Parallax. Now, I'm going to end it there with the story. I don't want to reveal too much for you. I want to leave the ending open there. On to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Well, good. The story was very well written, especially for a thin story. They really packed it full with great writing, and it moves in transition very well. Jeff Johns is a very good writer, and I think he's a young writer, too. He's only 35. But he has a lot of talent. He's done the Green Lantern Corps, Booster Gold. I believe he did some Superman also. He knows his stuff, and he does a good job, and he really does things differently, and it's very nice. So the story was very well written. The action was very nice. I loved it when Sinestro and Hal Jordan get into a fight. It was a very nice fight scene. Very well done. And in addition to that, it focused on all the Green Lanterns. It wasn't the Hal Jordan show. It was about all the Green Lanterns. It was very nice because I like them all. I don't think I dislike any of the Green Lanterns. There's some I like more than others, but I liked how they showcased all the Green Lanterns. Even Alan Scott, who isn't part of the Green Lantern Corps, was showcased in this. On to the bad. The only bad I could think about is this was hyped up a little bit more than I think it should have been. It's a great story. It's definitely like an A story. 9 out of 10. Great story. However, it's not an epic story. Everyone told me before I read this that this is epic, this is huge. But it's not really. It's just a rebirth of Hal Jordan. It was a great story. It was very well done, but I don't think it was as epic as everyone says it is. You can have a story be fantastic and not have it be epic. And the only other thing I could think of is I didn't really like Parallax as an enemy. Yeah, he's badass and evil and, you know, really deadly, but I really didn't care for him as an enemy. On the whole, whether you should get it, definitely. I definitely suggest this to new readers of the Green Lanterns also, because this transitions to some of the other stuff Jeff John's doing right now with the Green Lantern. The Green Lantern Corps comics, Sinestro Wars, the Blackest Night that they do now, the whole color spectrum of lanterns. So if you want to get into Green Lantern, this is a good place to start. It was a very nice story. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I did read it at night when I started reading it. I had to read it in the morning because I wasn't staying awake. But it's a very good story. There's a lot of parts in it that I liked. My favorite part was when Hal Jordan was explaining how every Green Lantern uses his ring. Like Kyle Rayner is an artist and how he has to have everything be unique and eccentric and into perfection because he's an artist. Or John Stewart, being an architect, has to make all his constructs be built from the inside out with every nut and bolt in there. Or Guy Gardner, how he just has his energy flowing off him, dripping off like water, and it's just very wild and crazy like Guy Gardner's personality. I thought that was great. That was a very unique perspective on the Green Lantern's powers, because they all have they use their powers differently. But this was a very good story. I do suggest it. I do recommend it to new readers of Green Lantern because it'll get you into some of the other stuff. And there was very little wrong about this. I just didn't care for Parallax, and I think it was overly hyped as epic, but it's still one of my favorite Green Lantern stories. So, yes, definitely pick up Rebirth. Great story. And hopefully I'll be able to review more Green Lantern stuff. Just finishing up Justice League now. After I'm done with Justice League, I'll start reading all the Green Lantern Corps and all that stuff. So, with that said, I'll end this review here. Green Lantern Rebirth, pick up. You'll enjoy it. That said, this is Andrew saying, peace out for now.